Amber Portwood's fiance, Gary Wayt, calls the police after being reported missing and having been missing for a couple days and tells them that he's okay. Do you guys think this was for a storyline? Is Teen Mom that desperate at this point that they're having to do things like this? Allegedly? What do you think? Let's go. First of all, let me start this video by saying that I am really happy that Gary Wayt is okay, not missing. It sounds like the latest news that we have about this whole situation is that he called the police and let them know that he is not missing and that he's okay. This is what TMZ reported. Teen Mom fiance Amber Portwood's missing fiance Gary has been found, called police, and says he is okay. Amber Portwood's fiance, Gary, is no longer MIA according to cops because they confirm he's been located safe and sound, TMZ has learned. Bryson City Police Department in North Carolina tells us that Gary, who had been engaged to the Teen Mom star for the last few weeks, emphasis on last few because they haven't been engaged for too long, made a call to the department from a restricted number Friday afternoon, assuring them he was perfectly fine and in good health. Now, if it's a restricted number, I mean, I'm sure the police have a way of confirming that this is him and not somebody else. I would hope that that is the case. So, it is what it is. He says to make sure Gary was indeed okay, we're told police grilled him with some very specific questions and he came back with equally specific answers. That sealed the deal for cops. They're 100% confident this was Gary on the horn, and they closed the missing persons case. Unclear where Gary was calling from. But remember, we were told Thursday that he was supposedly spotted several thousands of miles away in Weatherford, Oklahoma. Remember, it was a Verizon store. I would assume that, at least my assumption would have been that he bought like a burner phone or something, right? And I think everybody was assuming the same, given that he had allegedly left without his phone. Witnesses claim that the person even introduced himself as Gary and showed no signs of distress. With that said, the purported sightings was 100% never confirmed. It was just reported to police. Throughout the active investigation, authorities never suspected foul play or the possibility of suicide. The Bryson police adds authorities have been in touch with Amber, who voiced her concerns about Gary online, and she explained that while they did have a discussion before she last saw him, it was not a big blowout or fight or anything like that. Now, funny how they're using the word discussion, because I swear that it was disagreement. I swear that was the word that was used by law enforcement and by other sources. Disagreement. So it's funny how the media is spinning some of these words, just something to point. And it's also kind of like, are they trying to maybe adopt one narrative over another? That kind of concerns me a little bit.
Plate. He was last seen at 6 o'clock Sunday night along Arlington Avenue. Sunday, they had some kind of disagreement. He left, and when he left, he grabbed his wallet and his keys, and that was the last time he was seen.
Does anything about this case strike you as unusual?
Just one thing that's I think is unusual is he just grabbed his wallet and keys. He left his other personal items there, and he left.
Robinson is covering all bases, trying to find him.
Family's not heard from him. Talked to his parents, his siblings, his fiance. None of his friends has heard from him. We're just trying to locate him, make sure he's safe.
Amber staying put.
So he was originally supposed to leave on Monday morning, but since he has become missing, she's staying in the area until I guess he's located.
All hoping for a good outcome.
Discussion. I don't know. But I find that word to be used very interesting in the media. No word on whether Gary has reached out to Amber yet. We've contacted her for clarification, but no word back yet. Now, I am going to say this, okay? I'm just going to say this. And this is just my thoughts, my opinions, because I have many of them. Look, after hearing what Amber had to say in the interview with the YouTube channel, it almost seemed to me that she was trying to make sure that the audience knew that she didn't do anything, that there was no foul play. Just pray for him. Like, it didn't happen like that. And then she was asked about mental health, and she didn't really go into specifics. We would assume that. I wanted to get to the weeds of this whole little argument, right? Because it sounded like some of the context of that argument was pertaining to him being Vietnamese and, that being an issue with the family. I do find it, if you guys remember when this story broke, Amber was upset with the family because she wanted to keep this whole missing person hush hush. You can't keep a missing person hush hush, and shout out to the family. I know Amber reported him missing, which was great. Good for her. I give her that. But you also can't go after the family or tell the family that they shouldn't have, spoken out or whatever. It doesn't, like, your image should not be an issue right now when it comes to a missing person. Like, none of that should matter. And it is interesting to me because what comes about for those of us that used to watch Teen Mom back in the day when they first started, we used to watch how Amber on the first Gary, how she treated him. And, yeah, it was a moment in the cameras and everything, but it did kind of leave a different way of us looking at the situation. And then also she got married with that one guy, the cinematographer, and also, used the machete with her child in the room. Like, she was doing all that. Like, that is too much. And so, yeah, I can understand why Amber would be a little bit more guarded about her reputation. Like, it's not like that. I've changed. People change, yada, yada, yada. And then here we see that she's getting into a fight with this other, Gary 2.0. But I have a lot of questions about this. Now, the other side of this too, and I'm just going to ask the question, all right? Because I can and because I want to. All right, I'm going to ask it. Could this just have been a storyline? This could have been a storyline, right? Like, could this have been a storyline for Teen Mom? I personally don't feel like any of the Teen Mom personalities are above that. I feel like there are different storylines that have been presented, whether they're real life or not. But could this have been a storyline? I would hope that that's not the case. I would like to think that that is not the case, that they know, federal resources, police resources were used for a storyline. It doesn't sound like that's what it is. I hope that it is thoroughly investigated, and that if this was a storyline, if this was all false, a plot, a plan, or whatever, that these individuals are held accountable for that. Let me just put that out there. But I'm glad that he is safe. Okay. A lot of this whole story is sounding very sketch to me, because just the way in which the way it played out. Now, he called the police, he answered a series of questions. He called the police on a restricted number, which kind of makes you wonder, why would you call them on a restricted number? What's the point of that? You want them to verify that you're okay, right? Like, what would be the issue of just calling on a regular number? If they record calls, they can record. Somebody can FOIA that, I'm assuming. I'm thinking. I mean, could that be FOIA'd? I'm kind of wondering if that's a possibility. But why would Gary call on a restricted number? And it sounds like he passed a series of questions that he was asked. Has he called Amber? Where do they stand? What is going on? I mean, I'm intrigued by this whole situation because of the pattern of behaviors that we've had from Amber Portwood in the show. I'm not making that up. Y'all have seen it. Okay.
With my fiance Gary quickly went downhill. I was charged with domestic assault and struggled with substance abuse, so I was sentenced to 5 years in prison.
Okay. And to me, she's not a nice person. She's not. She's just isn't. I don't know. There's something about her. Like, you would think that after so many years you had worked on yourself, girl, and you haven't. And I was rooting for you. I was Tyra Banks rooting for her at one point.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
When I used to watch the damn show, but I'm not. I don't know. It's like, you only, in my opinion, is, age is supposed to make you wiser. The older that you get, you're supposed to do different things and, get wiser. I just don't think that's it. That's been for her. But I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. I welcome them, whether you agree with me, whether you don't agree with me. Let me know. You just can't cuss me out because YouTube will block those cursey word letters. Just saying. Not me. It's YouTube. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.